Good evening, welcome to LFS for the Club World Cup live for our second game of the competition. And as Group D action coming your way tonight as English side Chelsea take on Los Angeles FC in the Group D game of the Club World Cup, the first Group D game of the competition. There's been a lot of action over yesterday, overnight as well, with a lot of games being played over the last 24 hours. We're going to bring you up to date with all of those. We'll tell you what the scores were, and we'll also have a look at the tables for each group and how they've fared so far. Groups A and B have been completed for match day one, so those are done. Group C has one game down, which we watched yesterday, Bayern Munich's 10-0 win there yesterday over the New Zealand side, Auckland City. So we'll analyse the table as well for you for all of those games. There's lots of games still to come, and we apologise for yesterday. We were doing the PSG Atletico game, but something went wrong. There's some weird things with the streams and stuff. It was weird, so I do apologise about that. But let's have a look at all the fixtures so far, all the results so far. It started with a 0-0 draw in the opening game of the competition. Al Ahly against Inter Miami finished 0-0 on opening night. Bayern Munich made up for the no goals in the first game by scoring 10 past Auckland City in the second game of the competition, which we watched yesterday afternoon. Last night, PSG had their fair share of goals over Atletico Madrid. We're going to look back on that game quickly for you. 4-0 it finished. Fabian Ruiz opened the scoring after 19 minutes for PSG. It was then 2-0 just before half-time when Vitinha added a second. Atletico thought they'd got one back, but Alvarez's goal was disallowed by VAR early in the second, before Caoimhan Ferris, the centre-back, was shown a second yellow and sent packing to the stands. PSG then had their third through Mayulu, and then a penalty was given when Mayulu was fouled in the 95th minute, and Lee Kang-in stepped up and scored that penalty, making it a comfortable 4-0 win in the end for PSG against Atletico. Great start to the group for the champions of Europe. And in the other Group A game yesterday evening, Palmeiras against Porto, another 0-0 draw. Both Group A games on match day one ended 0-0 in their respective games. And then early hours of this morning, it was a 3 o'clock kickoff AM in the UK, Botafogo against Seattle Sounders. That was a Group B game for you, and that was the PSG, same group as PSG Atletico, and Botafogo won by 2-1 in that one. They were 2-0 up in the first half. Jair and Jesus gave them a 2-goal lead before half-time, before one goal was scored back by Christian Roldan for Seattle Sounders, but it was 3 points for Botafogo. In that one, the players just coming out onto the field here in Atlanta for this one this evening. 8 o'clock kickoff, Chelsea against Los Angeles FC. Played in the Atlanta Falcons NFL Stadium, the Mercedes Benz Stadium. And the players just coming out there. Chelsea getting their campaign underway. If you're watching us on TikTok as well, we're on TikTok live as well as on YouTube for this evening's game. Let's have a look at the tables quickly then. So this is the way Group A and Group B sit. So all of Group A with a single point after match day one. Al Ahly leading that charge, but that is all really could be at any order if you really respond to it. None of the four teams in Group A have scored or conceded, obviously, and all with 1 point after match day one. Group B, PSG lead the way with a goal difference of 3 points and a +4 goal difference. Has them top of that group. Botafogo, the only other team to have picked up any points in that group. They picked up 3 points against the Sounders yesterday, earlier, so this morning actually. So 3 points there for Botafogo, and Seattle Sounders in third, and Atletico Madrid in fourth due to goal difference. So that's the way that one looks. For Group C is half complete for match day one. Bayern Munich against Auckland City. That was yesterday's game, 10-0 for Bayern. Boca Juniors against Benfica's later tonight, so we'll know what way that table will look later this evening. But something's telling me Bayern will be top after match day one. And of course, Group D gets underway as well this evening. Chelsea against LAFC is our 8 o'clock kickoff. And then there's a game in the early hours of the morning again, a 2 o'clock AM kickoff in the UK. Flamengo against Esperance, which is also in Chelsea's group. So we'll get you the results of those from tomorrow's fixtures as well for you. So it is an exciting start to the campaign, to the tournament, as the Chelsea players are slowly but surely making their way out onto the fields. Of course, the one of two English sides in the competition. along with Manchester City. And now out will come the LAFC team. They're in their white strip this evening for this one as they're welcomed onto the pitch. Great to have you all with us here on YouTube and on TikTok down here with me. Great to have you all with us. Do let us know what you think of the game, who you think, what you think is going to come of this one. Obviously, Chelsea will be the favourites, but you never know. Anything's possible in football, and we say that all the time, but it's true. Anything's possible, but you would be a fool, surely, to bet against Chelsea getting all 3 points out of this one, and they would be the favourites to top this group, really, after the end of the group stages. As the LAFC players, they do that. This is very slow. I don't know how I feel about this. They did it in the opening night. They've been doing it in every game. The players come out like one by one, and then line up either side of like this mat that's on the field. And like they're individually announced by the in-stadium announcer. It's a really long process. Right, let's get you the team news from this one then. Starting with the Chelsea side that start this evening under Enzo Maresca. Robert Sanchez, starts in goal for them. Reece James is the captain. He's at right back of a back four. Tosin and Levi Colwill, the centre-back partnership with Marc Cucurella at left back for Chelsea. In midfield, Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia, with Cole Palmer in the 10. On the right-hand side is Noni Madueke. On the left-hand side is Pedro Neto. And through the middle, leading the line for Chelsea, is Nicholas Jackson. On the bench for Chelsea this evening, Jorgensen, Achiempong, Anselmino, Badiashile, Chalobah, Gusto, Sarr, Santos, Dewsbury Hall, Esugo, Fernandez, George, Gui and Nkunku. And the new centre forward signing, Liam Delap, is on the bench for Chelsea tonight. For LAFC, they've got Hugo Lloris, of course the former Spurs goalkeeper and France goalkeeper. He's in nets for LAFC tonight. He'll have a lot of his shots to stop surely tonight. Palencia starts at right back for LAFC alongside Aaron Long, the captain, and Segura at the centre-back partnership. Hollingshead is at left back. Igor Jesus is in midfield alongside Timothy Tillman and Marky Delgado. And a front three for LAFC of Nathan Ordaz and Dennis Bouanga with a front centre forward of Jeremy Ebobisi leading the line for LAFC tonight. So both sets of teams are out onto the fields. The graphics on the field on the screen showing the teams at the moment. Those are your lineups for this one this evening, our second game of the competition here on LFS, and we're quite a distance into the competition now. Officially day 3 this is of the competition, all the way running till, of course, the 13th of July when the live final will be held in New York or New Jersey. There it is officially known. It's very strange, but we're in Atlanta tonight, Atlanta, Georgia. For this one, Mercedes Benz Stadium, the home of the Atlanta Falcons, the NFL team. And that is the host of tonight's game. And there's the VAR. Our VAR tonight, Juan Soto from Venezuela. And our referee this evening is also from Venezuela, Jesus Valenzuela, which is quite easy to remember where he's from. Valenzuela is from Venezuela. Right, they've just gone to an ad break. Fantastic. Great to have you all with us for this one tonight. Welcome into everybody, the edit guy, Fran, Cozy, and Samuel. Great to have you all with us, as well as everybody watching on YouTube and on TikTok as well. Of course, do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already on YouTube, and do hit that follow button on TikTok as well. That would be fantastic. And of course, hit the like button as well on there. That'll be greatly appreciated. Right, we're waiting for these adverts to get going, to get finished, and we can get going with the football. And of course, I watched the bits and pieces of the PSG Atletico Madrid game last night. Of course, we couldn't do the game. It was a little awkward, whatever happened with the technology, as per usual, as is the case with a lot of things. Technology loves to mess about. But yeah, it was a pretty fascinating game. It wasn't as one-sided, obviously, as the Bayern game earlier in the day, but it was probably a little bit more one-sided than I expected it to be. I think PSG completely dominated Atletico and they just couldn't handle it from the very first minute. Of course, the heat will play a part, obviously, to everything that happens. The players in their huddles now, the Chelsea players in their huddle, of course, they are showing off their new season kit this evening. Or Chelsea, it's probably as blue and as plain as it has been for quite a number of years. It's not the most kind of outlandish kit that Chelsea are wearing tonight. Of course, Hugo Lloris in the opposing goal to Robert Sanchez, the former Spurs goalkeeper, in the net for LAFC tonight. They will get us on the way. One of the they're not officially a host team. LAFC, the host team are Inter Miami, but they are a team that is based in the home country, the host country for this tournament, of course. Our LAFC, and they will get us underway in a moment when the Venezuelan referee blows his whistle. And that he does, and we get underway for this one then here in Atlanta. Chelsea in their all blue, and LAFC in their all white this evening for them. LAFC kicking from right to left in the first half, Chelsea left to right. Of course, Chelsea off the back of cup success, trophy success, winning the Conference League, of course, against Real Betis, becoming the first English side to win all three competitions, all three-tier competitions in Europe, Champions League, Europa League and Conference League. They've won all three in their history of Chelsea. You come back off that successful campaign of getting in the top five and getting a trophy, which was more than successful for Enzo Maresca and his side this season in the Premier League. And they come into this tournament maybe feeling that they could pick up a trophy in this one as well. Of course, obviously been involved with tournaments like this before. But a very new format, as is the case with every team in the competition now. Not seen it in the format that we're in. More of a World Cup, Euros type feel with this tournament. This makes it even more intriguing. Games from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, basically. That's the way we love it. LAFC have started with a lot of the ball here. Here's Long. Nice ball out wide here to Hollingshead. He's going to break inside Pedro Neto, and he's bursting forward here. A little bit of room. It was a good run by Hollingshead. He's played it off into the box. There's bodies around here for LAFC. If they can find a little gap, chip ball across. It's headed away by Neto. And then a little bit muddled up as Palmer tries to set off Jackson, who was well covered, Nicholas Jackson. And there's going to be a clearance there from the LAFC goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. But for a moment there, it looked like he might have got a foul out of that one, Nicholas Jackson. But the referee had a think and decided to play on. But I've got to say, a good positive start with the ball from Los Angeles. And the question is, will Los Angeles have the same fate that kind of Auckland City had against Bayern Munich yesterday? Or will they be able to be more competitive against Chelsea tonight? We'll see what the case is. Of course, it's still early afternoon in Atlanta. I don't know what exactly time it is, but it is early afternoon over there. 8 o'clock kickoff here in the UK. Here's Noni Madueke. Caicedo for Chelsea. Leaves it off to Romeo Lavia. Through the lines to Palmer, who steps off his man. Palmer lays it into space here for Madueke. Can he have a shot? He's surrounded by bodies and forced out of the box there, Noni Madueke. It was good recovery defending from LAFC, but from Chelsea, a positive play. Here's Cucurella with a chance, but absolutely an abomination of a cross that was. Goal kick. The first real time we've seen Chelsea get forward and anywhere near the box. It was skied over the bar. Whether it was a cross or a shot from Marc Cucurella, it certainly wasn't successful, no matter what happened on that front. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It is 3 o'clock in Atlanta. I wasn't too sure if they were the same time zone as the Easter, if they were in the Eastern time zone, or whether they were Central time zone. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Atlanta. Well, here's a chance down the right side for Ordaz. Cuts it back inside. Tillman goes for the switch ball. Nicely taken down on the left-hand side here by Bouanga, but intercepted well by Reece James, who retrieves for Chelsea. But LA looking a little bit threatening in the wide areas so far, using their width. Here comes Noni Madueke to break away for Chelsea. He's rolled it through. Jackson's made the run. Jackson spins his man, and the shot was straight up into the hands of Hugo Lloris. Yeah, did well there, Nicholas Jackson. He dragged the ball back, and on the turn, off balance, he had the shot, got it away, but it was too close to Hugo Lloris, the LA goalkeeper. Lee says, you enjoying the game so far? It's a good game so far. Lee says he saw a leak for the Premier League fixtures. Of course, yeah, the Premier League fixtures are out on Wednesday morning. If you want to join us on YouTube, we'll have all those on our socials. Over the day on Wednesday. All the key games, all the interesting games. Do hit the hearts and the like button on TikTok if you can. That would be great to kind of grow the stream. Brighton against Liverpool, Lee says. Well, you never know. Although Liverpool usually only seem to get newly promoted sides in the opening day. That seems to be the rhetoric for Liverpool. Here's Pedro Neto for Chelsea. Trying to dribble towards the box, but well blocked by the left back there, Ryan Hollingshead. As the ball goes down the left channel for LA, but easily retrieved by Chelsea. Palmer was dispossessed in the middle there. Jesus, oh, a risky ball, but he's got it, worked it off well to Long. Jesus again. Delgado turning on the ball, laying it out wide to Hollingshead, and out down the left channel for Bouanga. Bodies, there's space there for LA to try and break through, but well covered by Neto and Reece James to retrieve the ball again for Chelsea. But every time they come forward, Los Angeles, they've got the space to exploit Chelsea. Chelsea aren't really overly aggressive with their press in the wide areas in these first 7 minutes or so. And when LA do get the ball, they have time to control it, time to pass it off, and time to run into space, which is being not occupied by Chelsea. It's a good start, I gotta say. Competitive start in this one. Oh, given away cheaply there by Romeo Lavia, but he worked well to win it back. Just about holding on to it again, and runs into more bodies. And I think it might have come back for a free kick anyway on Lavia. Commentary's a little bit off-putting. Listen to the kind of broadcast commentary. A little bit annoying. As Chelsea work the ball back to Robert Sanchez. Switched out to the left. A difficult ball for Cucurella to control, but he did well in controlling the ball, Marc Cucurella. Caicedo. Colwell, right to the left-hand side. Back to Colwell again for Chelsea. He's trying to get some possession, some control of the ball, or Chelsea. LA started well. Chelsea have had a lot of the ball in the last few minutes. Of course, this is an important game for Chelsea to kind of try and get off to a good start. Try and get themselves up and running in this competition. First time of asking. And they will want to be competing with the likes of maybe a PSG or a Bayern Munich to try and battle in the latter stages of this competition. LA have found the spaces early on. Here's Delgado breaking away. He's got Bouanga to make the run, but Delgado's ball was just too overhit down that left-hand side. And LA's hopeful attack comes to a pretty quick end. And the coach there, Stephen Cherundolo, great name, Stephen Cherundolo, on the sideline, getting his notepad out. Already getting the notes being made as the ball played down the channel here for Nicholas Jackson for Chelsea. Holds off his man well. Gives it back to his captain James. Palmer. Back to Caicedo. Just keep working the ball. Chelsea know an imminent threat. Well, that's a nice turn from Palmer, but a heavy touch lets him down. And he was dispossessed there as Igor Jesus plays it through for the centre forward, who is brought down by Tosin. Ebobisse is the centre forward for LA. Jeremy Ebobisse from Cameroon, 28 years old, 6 foot, so he's got height on his side as the LA centre forward. Scored 3 goals in 11 MLS appearances this campaign for Los Angeles. As they had the ball given away there from their own free kick, and a Caicedo pass out to the left-hand channel. Madueke trying to dribble through 2 bodies, but got a bit too kind of overexcited there, Madueke, and he just overhit the pass completely. Yeah, competitive start. Although Chelsea have probably had more of the ball now and probably looking the more slick with the ball, but again, Los Angeles are not kind of cowering in fear. They're not kind of sitting too deep. They're not giving Chelsea the free roam of the field, as the referee has a little technical issue here. So we will have a stoppage in play. A reminder for you, we do have more coverage for you tomorrow at Fluminense against Borussia Dortmund. That's tomorrow, 5 o'clock kickoff UK time on YouTube for the watch-along of this competition. A free kick for Chelsea was given as well a moment or two ago. Cucurella will take it and just play it back to Colwell. That's what I mean. Chelsea just no unnecessary hurry to force the ball forward. Just playing it through the lines at their own pace at the moment, Chelsea. Palmer to Caicedo. Plays it out wide to Neto. Right, Palmer. Neto cuts it back to Reece James. Lavia to Palmer. Of course, Chelsea went into the final day of the Premier League season knowing they needed a good result to get Champions League football. It was Neto with a cross here. Oh, just overstretching it. Couldn't take it under control. Was Noni Madueke. And now Los Angeles are on the break here. Down the right-hand side. Coming Ordaz. Cuts it across. Out to the left-hand side. Bouanga. Gets it off Delgado. But again, Reece James has got the better of Bouanga on that left-hand side. Caicedo closed down there by Igor Jesus. That's a lovely little turn there by Timothy Tillman for Los Angeles to keep the ball. Yeah, the midfield of Los Angeles looks strong. Delgado, Jesus and Tillman looking well capable of taking it to Chelsea in the first 14 minutes of this one. Oh, that was a little loose though from the right back. Palencia, it's given away to Madueke. Madueke across. Oh, too far behind Jackson, too far ahead of Palmer. And that attack breaks down for Chelsea. And it could have been more dangerous, and Sergi Palencia, I'm sure, is relieved that that cross didn't end up finding a blue shirt in the middle, because he was the one that gave the ball away cheaply. Tillman tried to reverse the ball out wide, but intercepted well by Cucurella. To Lavia. Caicedo, nice bobbling ball out to the left channel again for Madueke. 4 bodies in the box for Chelsea. Madueke cuts it back to Caicedo. Those bodies just retreat a little bit in blue colours. Neto. Back inside to Reece James, who will cross it out wide to Madueke. Waiting for the reaction and the response, and it was a good reaction and response from Sergi Palencia, who blocked it out for the throw. 15 minutes gone. Chelsea 0, Los Angeles Football Club 0, to give them their full name. Yeah, I'm going to be interchanging between Los Angeles, LA, LAFC. They're all the same team, obviously. Next, he sit 13th in the MLS. To Los Angeles, 7 wins, 5 draws, and 4 defeats from their 16 games they've played so far. 26 points. In their conference, the Western Conference, they actually sit 5th. In their conference, 9 points off the top, but with a game in hand on the league leaders, the Vancouver Whitecaps. In the MLS, their top scorer, that man Dennis Bouanga, scored 8 goals this season for Los Angeles. So he's the one to watch out for in that left side, and he's been well covered these early moments by Reece James, the Chelsea captain. As Palencia battling and losing the ball again, and that's lovely work from Jackson, and Madueke forces a good save off Lloris, and the rebounded effort blocked from Palmer. They're tussling in the middle as Caicedo was colliding with Ordaz, and that's going to be a free kick to Los Angeles. But it was Palencia again. He just got a little bit caught by Madueke, and the combination between Madueke and Jackson. Jackson played the ball back. Madueke made the run, and he shoots it low. A good save by the former Spurs player Hugo Lloris, and then the rebound from Palmer. Now the rebounded shot by Palmer was blocked and cleared away, but it's clearly the best chance of the game, and only Madueke couldn't find a way past Hugo Lloris. VAR were checking for something there. The referee was halted the game for a second or two, but whatever it was they were checking has been cleared, and we play on. As Los Angeles want to get a couple of passes moving. They're moving nice and quick here. Delgado, look at the space on this right hand side. Ordaz was there, but the ball from Igor Jesus was just poor. The space was gaping on that right hand side for Los Angeles to break, and just the pass that let them down. Itchy ear. Certainly Chelsea have had the best chance of the game so far. Caicedo switches the ball to Reece James. Neto tries to take on his man in Hollingshead, but the Los Angeles left back had the better of him. Although he couldn't keep it in play there. Bouanga, who got the ball back. And Chelsea now throw in has been taken. Ball finds its way out to Neto here on the right hand side. Goes for the early cross for Chelsea, but well blocked by Palencia. It's fallen for Caicedo in the clearance. Palmer now has the shot curling and curls it onto the roof of the nets, but I think there was a slight deflection on the way through, so it's going to be a Chelsea corner. But Cole Palmer was going for the spectacular there. Took a touch with his left, the outside of his left, and then set it up for the shot. And it took a deflection as he had that effort. Goes behind for the corner. Got the Chelsea fans there in the stands, watching their side. Corner taken short by Neto. Palmer. Caicedo gets it back to Neto. Tries to cross. Well blocked on that side by Palencia. Out for the Chelsea throw. And Cole Palmer was clearly Chelsea's player of the season in the Premier League. And a fantastic season. He had a fantastic first half of the season. 15 goals, 8 assists in total for Cole Palmer last season. He had a really good start to the campaign, but kind of tailed off a little bit towards the end of it. In the second half of the season, he wasn't hitting the heights he was in the first half of the campaign. But no doubting the quality and importance of Cole Palmer in the Chelsea side. Certainly towards when they were battling to get into the Champions League and get that top 5 position, it's kind of where he worked his magic a little bit more. That lull throughout the season kind of took him away from maybe player of the season kind of candidate. He was certainly Chelsea's most influential player in the last campaign. Tosin switches the ball out to the left hand side. Madueke trying to drive towards the box, but well blocked by Sergi Palencia again. Lovely little dribble from Tillman to break away. But again, the pass. Get a little bit overexcited, Los Angeles, when they do a little skill or break away from a challenge and they force the pass, which is just not accurate enough, and they just camp with the possession and give it back to Chelsea. Well, they've done well to not really look too open. I gotta say, you know, defensively they've looked strong so far, Los Angeles, and they've won the ball back well again here. Chelsea wanted a foul, but they're on the breakaway, and Ordaz is down the right-hand side. It's a 4-on-3. Ordaz couldn't squeeze it. Again, couldn't find his centre-forward, Ebobisse, and it was well blocked by Reece James, but again, that break was on for Los Angeles again. Chelsea lose the ball. They wanted the foul. The referee saw no issue, and on their bike they were. Neto overhits his pass, but the return ball from Los Angeles was overhit, but well won back again by Hollingshead, and now they're on the break down the left-hand side. Bouanga plays it inside. Brought down by Moises Caicedo, and that's going to be a free kick to LAFC. Caicedo and Palmer arguing their case at the moment they wanted a foul for earlier in the game wasn't given. That's the point they were making. And the referee was quite decisive, and rightfully so. It was a lunge by Moises Caicedo. And the new addition to this competition, we get the referee's view. They have the kind of, on their headsets, on the left-hand side of their headsets, where their microphone is, they've got like a little camera, which gives you the view from the referee. So you kind of get his context of the situation. And on that occasion, it looked like a foul by Caicedo on Bouanga. So a free kick to LA here. Will be Bouanga to take. Right-footed, flicked over the top, but far too close to Robert Sanchez to cause any concern to the Chelsea goalkeeper. And the ball's popped out to the right channel here. Oh, Sanchez getting a little bit caught there. Oh, a little bit awkward. And he's re-grabbed the ball and played it out to his captain. Well, you got to say, for Chelsea, they were in the market. They have been in the market for a new goalkeeper, of course. Kind of that dominoes kind of interest. Robert Sanchez was kind of interest, I think, to West Ham, of course, with the Graham Potter links. And Chelsea might have been interested in bringing in a new goalkeeper themselves. Mike Maignan from AC Milan was their main target, but those kind of talks seem to have cooled in the last week or so. But a goalkeeping position, I'm sure, will be one they will want to kind of strengthen, definitely, Chelsea, because I gotta say, although Robert Sanchez is a decent goalkeeper, but he's not a Champions League level goalkeeper, in my opinion. I don't think he can win you big things, if you know what I mean, on a regular basis. Or he's always got that, I don't know, that nervous sense to him, that kind of crazy sense, which you don't want in a goalkeeper. You want a goalkeeper who's cool, calm and collected in every situation. But Robert Sanchez just got that madness about him where you think he could make a mad mistake from nowhere and cost you a goal. I think for Chelsea, I think they need a more solid option. I mean, the last goalkeeper really for Chelsea that had that, I think, was Petr Cech. And goalkeeper has been a position where Chelsea haven't had the best in class for a good while. Seems like kind of other teams in the Premier League have much better goalkeepers than Chelsea. And you talk about Liverpool, who have a couple of options now. Of course, Alisson's still probably one of the best in the world, and Georgi Marmadashvili coming in for Liverpool this summer. You've got kind of obviously still the Arsenal goalkeepers, and Arsenal maybe looking for goalkeepers as well this summer. And obviously David Raya, one of the best in the Premier League. Edison's still up there for Manchester City as a very, very good goalkeeper. Nick Pope for Newcastle. So you think there's some very good options in the Premier League goalkeeper-wise, but you don't think Chelsea have the best in class or kind of in the top tier of top-quality goalkeepers. I think, you know, I tell you, an attack can win you games, but a defence and a goalkeeper can win you big trophies. And that's where I think Chelsea need. They need that stalwart defender or that stalwart goalkeeper that's just going to give them that extra little bit of solidity and that solid nature about them. At times they do still seem a little bit nervous defensively, in my opinion. But no doubt they've got some very good quality players, Chelsea. No doubt about that whatsoever. 27.5 minutes gone here in Atlanta, the Mercedes Benz Stadium, the home of the Atlanta Falcons, the NFL side, here in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States, for the FIFA Club World Cup Group D action. Chelsea against Los Angeles Football Club, still 0-0 at the moment. Lavia linking up with Caicedo, back to Romeo Lavia. Through it goes to Cucurella, who's taken up an inside role. Plays it to Palmer. This is a good move. Neto crosses it in. It was Cucurella that made the run, and the cross was headed away by Adam Long, the LA defender. Mark Cucurella was lurking round that back. He made a nice inside run. Neto still got it here for Chelsea as he breaks towards the box, whips it to the back post, but the header by Noni Madueke is well off targets. Well, Chelsea have had all the efforts so far. 5 shots, 2 on target. LA still without a effort in the game, but again, you got to say, despite that, I think the difference here is one, Los Angeles look strong defensively, or at least look competitive defensively, and on the other hand, they can make themselves a little bit of a threat on the break, and at times they have done that with the counter in transition. It's just a little bit of inaccuracy with their passing as they try and break forward. That's kind of let them down on occasion, LA. And that's what their head coach and the coaching staff are trying to resolve and figure out a better way of transitioning his team forward on a more regular and on a more accurate basis. Nice turn by Lavia, finding Palmer. Madueke spinning his way into the box. Stretches out of the box now, Madueke. And he's not going to go all on his own there. Caicedo, Palmer, Cucurella. And the ball comes all the way back to the Chelsea defenders there. I think out of shape, or out of possession, sorry. LA just look in a strong, solid shape. And there is space wide for Chelsea, but they're kind of closing off those gaps in the central areas at times, and in crucial moments they're getting bodies in and around the threatening players. The kind of, obviously Cole Palmer, one of them. And they're holding Chelsea at bay at the moment. 30 minutes gone, Chelsea 0, Los Angeles 0. The American side defending well as Caicedo tried a reverse ball over the top there, but too much for Neto to chase. Goal kick. Christos says Chelsea go. Gary says should have started Bruno. Bruno? Who's Bruno? Nicely worked there by Igor Jesus. Palencia ball over the top, looking for the run of Ordaz, but again slightly overhit that ball. And Robert Sanchez could claim in his own box. As I said, so far that LA midfield has held its own. Delgado, Jesus and Tillman. Although a pretty strong starting 11 for Chelsea. Similar to kind of a lot of the teams, I've got to say, a lot of European teams are not kind of taking their European status for granted. They are playing their strong teams and strong starting 11 so far. You know, Bayern Munich yesterday, even PSG, albeit against fellow European kind of competitors in Atletico Madrid. And then Chelsea today. The European sides are not kind of settling and going, yeah, we're European, we're the European teams, we're the best in the world, kind of not that arrogance about it. They're humble with it, and they're going, well, we have to work for it, of course. Of course, Los Angeles more adept to the atmosphere, the intensity of the heat, the conditions than their kind of opponents tonight. And that could go slightly in their favour. It might help them a little bit more. Chelsea trying to be as conditioned as they possibly can for an English side in the beaming heat across the United States. Long. Tillman. Nice work from Jesus, but not held up well there on that occasion by Ordaz. And that's a lovely run in behind by Neto. He's got past his man. Neto chops back onto his left. Pedro Neto gives Chelsea the lead It was in the transition. It was on the break. It's a lovely run by Neto in behind. He sent his defender packing, and he slotted it into the far right corner, past Hugo Lloris, and Chelsea have the lead. A very good move from Chelsea. A wonderfully timed run by Pedro Neto, in behind the defender. He is onside. It's the centre-back that's playing him on. And he makes a lovely run in behind the full-back there, Neto. Chops back onto his left as the Hollingshead was sliding to try and block the shot that he was expecting to come. He chopped back onto his left, Neto, and then rifled it into the right corner, right in front of him. Chelsea 1, Los Angeles 0. And despite the Chelsea threats, or despite the strength of LA's defending so far, it's Chelsea who strike first and have the opener. He's just a little bit too preemptive there, was Ryan Hollingshead. He just tried to slide, and Neto was always going to chop back onto his left foot from that sort of range, that sort of position, if he could, and he was able to, he was allowed to. And the goal for Chelsea comes after 34 minutes. And they've had to work for it, no question about it. But they do have the lead, the Blues. And now Los Angeles will try and find a response. Here's Bouanga, trying to get past James. And I think he's going to be given a foul here, and it's going to be a yellow card for Reece James. It was a little bit over exuberance from the Chelsea captain, because Bouanga did get the ball, he got away, and Reece James just carried his way right through Bouanga. It is a foul, but yellow card might be a little bit harsh for Reece James, but a yellow card is what was given. And now it's a free kick for Los Angeles in a high up in and around the box. This could be a good chance to respond pretty quickly here to going behind in this first half. Bouanga will take the free kick once again for LA. Although Nathan Ordaz is in conversation with the referee, and the referee's asking for him to be assessed with his head. Is there an issue with his head, Nathan Ordaz? Well, I think they're calling it a concussion, so they might have to actually make a change here at Los Angeles. And I don't think Nathan Ordaz can continue. I think the referee was signalling that a substitution might need to be made. And of course a concussion substitution is allowed, of course. Is within the rules. Well, to be fair, we're looking at the line for on or offside for Pedro Neto. It looked closer to the naked eye, but it's quite clear when you see the line up. So he was quite clearly onside. Not that there was any issue from what I could see. It looked like he was on from the naked eye, but it looked a lot closer than it did in ultimately, as Nathan Ordaz has been replaced here. He hasn't been replaced just yet, so they're down to 10 for the moment. Free kick by Bouanga, back post. Oh, Sanchez grappled at it. He didn't get a catch to it, and it was palmed behind for a corner. That was a dangerous one from Bouanga. Yeah, he flapped at it with his two hands, Robert Sanchez, and he gets a high five from his teammates, but I think that's a little bit kind of stupid from him. But it's a corner to Los Angeles anyway, as they do make that change. And we'll tell you about that in a moment, because the corner's taken short. Nice get 1-2. Bouanga, right-footed, low across the box. Cleared away by Tosin, and out for the throw. The change, I believe, David Martinez Morales has come on for Nathan Ordaz on this right-hand side for LA. And that concussion sub, I believe, has been activated. And the referee, it looked like the referee was clearly signalling that would be the case, as Tillman was fouled there in the middle. Well, they've responded quite well, LA, to going behind. That's a lazy challenge by Romeo Lavia there. And they've responded well. Drawn a little bit of fight back. As, attempted the ball in behind there, Hollingshead. He's gone for the throw, and he's offsetted Reece James, but Bouanga couldn't get round the full back, and James was fouled there by Bouanga as he tried to win the ball back. Yeah, it's a fairly keen battle down that left-hand side. I said that could be the case. Reece James kind of pocketed Bouanga in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, but since then Bouanga's got a little bit of joy out of Reece James, Dennis Bouanga, down that left-hand side, and it's going to be a battle that'll continue throughout the evening. Remember, Reece James is on a yellow card, so Bouanga will go a little bit more aggressively at him, because he can do. Reece James has to be much more careful about that one-on-one challenge now. Confirmation then for that change. It was David Martinez Morales, or David Martinez that he will go by, to give him his full name, his government name. Tillman lost the ball to Caicedo, who slipped there, but the ball retrieved by Chelsea. Here's Palmer, tried to have a go, well blocked by an LA defender in there. Neto gets it out on the right hand side. James through the lines, nicely worked by Lavia, but Palmer runs into trouble again. Neto keeps it alive. Palmer dribbling past his man, but the touch allowed the fullback just to retrieve, and Delgado nicely worked here, and LA trying to swing it out to the right side. There is room. Cucurella is the company, but look at the space on this right hand side. Tillman breaks forward, he goes for the cross, but Bouanga back across, couldn't quite get there, Ababisi. And then Tosin was fouled by Martinez, but goodness me, the counter-attack was on again for LA. Chelsea were a little bit open, and it was opportunistic from Los Angeles, but Ababisi was in the middle waiting. He got that. The header came across from Bouanga, and Ababisi was just too far ahead of it to try and get anything towards it. And then he slipped as he tried to run to it and allowed Chelsea to recover. But there is space, there is options, and LA, despite having not registered a shot on target yet, actually they have now registered a shot on target, of course, from that free kick that was palmed away by Robert Sanchez. I mean, he could have easily caught it, but they kind of got a little bit of a helping hand by Robert Sanchez palming that one. But in terms of any real major goal threat, they haven't really had that so far, Los Angeles. But they have looked threatening on the counter attack, which is where I would say keep it going, because yes, Chelsea can look dominant in moments, and they can look like they're completely overrunning you. But if you get that right breakaway, you get that pass right, you can find a way through it. And Chelsea look vulnerable in transition at the moment, and LA are trying to target that. And credit to them, because they're doing a decent job of it so far. In both areas of the pitch, I've got to say. Thanks for the likes on TikTok. You aren't joining us on TikTok. If you're joining us here on YouTube, great to have you with us, of course. Always, as always. No doubt about that. Caicedo just retrieving the ball back there to Cucurella. Chelsea with the ball back again. Welcome into everybody joining us on TikTok. Great to have you with us for this one, the live watch-along of the Club World Cup between Chelsea and LAFC. Chelsea 1-0 up at the moment, of course. Pedro Neto finding the nets. Neto finding the net for Chelsea in the first 34 minutes. It took them a while to get really rhythmically going, Chelsea. And since they have opened the scoring, LA have shown a little bit of a rebuttal, not too much, but a little bit. Here's Palmer. I think Chelsea would keenly want a second goal before half-time if they could find it. Is to settle any sort of lingering doubts. Just take a little bit of a firmer grip on this game as Palmer tried it again. Having that shot from the edge of the box, but there's too many bodies in his way. It's 3 times he's had that effort and it's just not worked on any occasion. It's not went anywhere near the goalkeeper. Or anywhere near the goal, for that matter. For Cole Palmer. A little bit isolated in that 10 role at the moment. Certainly in an attacking sense. When he does get to the final third, does Cole Palmer. Lavia was loose there and Tosin had to commit. And he committed a little bit late on Ebabisi. And that's going to be a free kick to LA and a yellow card for Tosin, the Chelsea centre-back. As we will have 2 additional minutes at the end of the first half. But see this again, it's Lavia with a back ball. It's given away. And Bouanga plays it through to Ebabisi. And then sliding in was Tosin on the challenge. And it's a definite free kick and a yellow card for the Chelsea centre-back. And another opportunity for Los Angeles to have an effort towards the Chelsea goal here. It's a good distance out, about 30 yards out, but... or maybe a bit more than 30 yards. It is Bouanga that's over it. There's those Los Angeles fans in the crowd. Yeah, it's a good 33 yards out, maybe. Chip ball over the top by Bouanga around the back post and the flick. Took a deflection off Ebabisi. Or Ebabisi's shot took a deflection off a Chelsea player. And it was initially given as a corner, but the flag's gone up actually against Ebabisi, so that's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. And the Los Angeles centre forward there in an offside position lets down their positive hopes of trying to find any sort of equalising chance before half time as we enter the final 30 seconds of the first half. Moves out. Los Angeles fans having fun in the stands. It's not a completely packed out Mercedes Benz Stadium tonight. It's actually nowhere near packed out, if I'm honest. Madueke here down the left for Chelsea. Can they nick a goal before half-time? Madueke's cross a little bit high for Neto. He's kept the ball alive. Is the referee going to allow him one more effort at this? He is, and Neto dispossessed. And there's the half-time whistle. So, a first 47 minutes or so where Chelsea have had the majority, if not all of the effort so far. But they were only to find the back of the net just the once in that first half. Pedro Neto breaking past his man. There's a little bit of a scrapple here as the players come together, whatever that's come about. Pedro Neto's right in the mix of it, whatever that stupidity is all about. But yeah, half-time it is Chelsea 1, Los Angeles 0, and it was a nicely worked goal by Pedro Neto. Good run, good kind of sliding of the defender, getting it kind of making it easy, making the decision for Pedro Neto to chop inside and then finding a past Hugo Lloris to give Chelsea the lead. And that is where we stand at the break. Chelsea 1, LAFC 0. We'll be back for analysis of that first half when we come back, as well as a look ahead to the games coming up here on LFS in the next couple of days. Join us in a moment. Welcome back to the 2025 Club World Cup live here on LFS this evening. Half-time, it is Chelsea 1, LAFC 0 at the break. Pedro Neto's goal, the difference between the two sides at the break. Anthony says, excellent commentary, mate. Thank you. Thank you very much, Anthony. Great to have you with us. Great to have everybody with us here on YouTube and on TikTok as well. That's fantastic to have you all with us and joining us this evening for this one. Of course, it's very exciting that the Club World Cup is on. It keeps us entertained while our domestic football is having a little rest. We can keep ourselves entertained across the summer with this one. And at half time, if it's to analyse that first half, I would say Chelsea, of course, have had the better of it. They've been the better side, they've had better possession, they've had better chances, but LA have looked a threat, and I don't want to over kind of egg it too much, because I mentioned a good point here in the first half, but for LA, they have looked a threat on the break. They have, and, you know, to be honest with you, there have been moments where Chelsea have looked vulnerable. You know, there's been space, there's been options, there's been opportunities for LA to kind of have a good chance at testing the Chelsea goal and the Chelsea goalkeeper, but they haven't done it on a consistent enough basis to have an overall threat. But I think set pieces could be huge, and I think we knew that before the game. I think if LA were going to get anything out of this game, they needed to have an unbelievable defence, Chelsea to have a really bad off day, and LA to take chances with set pieces. I think those three all need to combine for LA to get anything out of this game. But I think there is positives out of Los Angeles, out of that first half. I think the way they defended was strong. They got physical with Chelsea, although obviously they conceded. But, you know, overall, from what I saw from LA, and I didn't know what to expect. If I'm completely honest, I didn't know what to expect. There's teams that you've never watched before, teams that you've never seen before. You don't know the level. You don't know kind of, and I know the MLS level and the Premier League level is incomparable. But in individual games, when the circumstances are so different, you know, Chelsea are in an atmosphere, in a stadium, in a climate that they're not used to, for one, and again against a team that they're not used to, and whether they're not as good player-wise individually, of course they're not, but whether or not they are or not, in an individual game, they can show up and be the better side, and that can happen. I think Chelsea have dealt with some things well, and some things not well in the first half. I think they have been a little bit snatchy at times. You know, 2 yellow cards, some little niggles, little moments where they just didn't need to commit the foul, Chelsea. Just silly moments. In that first half, and that kind of give LA a little bit of a boost. At times give them a couple of free kicks that could have caused a good threat, and that only shot on target for Los Angeles in that first half came from a free kick that was palmed away by Robert Sanchez for a corner. But I think from Chelsea's point of view, I just think they just need to stay calm, stay controlled, and just not be naive, not overthink things, not kind of be too cocky about the whole situation. Just go, yeah, we may be Chelsea, we may have individuals that are 10 times better than our opponents, but still, let's not forget that this is still 11v11, it's still a competitive game of football, and we just need to play to that. And I think Bayern Munich held that. Now, of course, Auckland City, a semi-pro side, they were never going to have anything out of Bayern, no doubt about that. But what Bayern did is they didn't let their heads get to them. Whether they were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-0 up, they still came with the same mentality, Bayern, of, yeah, but we're going to try and find the next one. We're going to go for the next goal. We're going to go for another goal. We're going to keep focused. We're going to keep focused on our plan and on our idea, and on our mentality and not let it slip. And I think Chelsea just need to stick with that. I think I don't think at times that's fallen away, but 1-0, LA can still very much get back into this game, and with the threat that they've had, it only takes one moment to score a goal. And I do expect Chelsea to come out in the second half and find that second goal and settle and just have control of the game in the second half. But again, at 1-0, you never know. And at the state of the game is at the moment, anything can still happen. That's the truth of the situation. The game isn't won by Chelsea at the moment, and I think they just need to remind themselves of that there is still a second half to be played, and there still is more to come from this game, and that they haven't won it yet. Not that I think they're thinking that, but again, they just need to have that calmness and that composure for the second half, and I think they will. Their quality will obviously shine through in the second half. But we'll see what comes of the second period, which is on the way in just about 2 minutes' time for you. It's been a quick half-time. I hope you enjoyed the half-time. We'll be back for the second half commentary when we come back in just a couple of minutes. Do stay with us. Welcome back to the Club World Cup Live here on LFS. We had to end the TikTok Live because my phone is to my right hand side and it has jumped up 5% since I turned off the live, so it's draining my battery beyond belief while I'm charging my phone, so that's an issue. So we had to turn that off, but not that that worries you here. We're staying on live here. That's not we're not going anywhere. Just to let you know about that. Right, coming up, we have another game for you in the that was weird. The Club World Cup tomorrow. Fluminense against Borussia Dortmund is our game tomorrow. 5 o'clock kickoff. I don't know where that is being held. I'll find out for you. That is a Group F game, and that is being held at the MetLife Stadium. So that is the stadium that will host the final in a few weeks' time. So Fluminense against Borussia Dortmund tomorrow in Group F for you. That's at 5 o'clock. All the timings, by the way, are UK time. So that's as long as that's clear and concise for you. As we're about to get the second half underway. Reset the clock. As the LA players are already out on the field, the Chelsea players going to join them in a moment. Half time it is Chelsea who lead by a goal to nil. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That'll be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, everybody, joining us here this evening. We're very close to 28,000 subscribers now. We're flying up the numbers in the last few weeks. It's great to have you all with us and joining us for this one tonight. And if you can help us on the road to 28,000, that would be greatly appreciated from me, certainly. And the Chelsea players back out on the field. Keeping an eye on any transfer news. The transfer window, of course, reopened today. And that will be open until the remainder of the summer. So we will have the transfer show for you on Friday. This Friday. To run through all the week's drama and the news and who's going where and what's going to be happening. We'll have that for you on Friday. I wonder if we can go try the live again. It might work. Who knows? We'll try it again. Because the battery has gone flying up since I turned it off. And now that it's charging, maybe it'll work. We'll see. We'll see. I want to build up the TikTok. We want to build up. Do follow us on TikTok if you haven't done so already. At LF Streams 2 on TikTok. If you haven't joined us already over there, that would be great. We have a profile over there that's growing. Thankfully, it's great to see that it is growing. But if you are interested in what we would upload on TikTok, go and join us over there. Right, the players are ready and waiting. They're going to make changes at halftime. There's going to be changes made. Chelsea are going to make a change. Reece James, their captain, is coming off. He's going to be replaced by Malo Gusto at half-time. So a straight swap at right back for Chelsea. Of course, Reece James was on a yellow card as well, so probably one of the reasons why he was taken off. A little bit of a harsh yellow card, but the yellow card was given by the referee. LA look like they're trying to make a change as well at half-time. Remember, they made a first-half change, bringing on David Martinez on for the concussed Nathan Ordaz. There's Olivier Giroud. He's not ready to come on. He's trying to show off the abs on the sideline there. Still in keen shape, the 38-year-old Frenchman, Olivier Giroud. And of course, former Chelsea player, of course. He's not going to be joining us at the moment. I mean, what is going on? Why are we delayed here? What's going on? Can we get the second half started, please? Hurry up. What is going on? Are LA going to make a change? It looks like they're going to make a change, but nothing's happened. What's going on here? Oh my God. Let's all just take a lie down. We're going to have a lie down. We'll be back in 20 minutes. I mean, what's going on here? Just get the player on. You know who's coming on. You know who's coming off. You write the bits of the names down on the page. Come on. Well, here comes a player charging round with a shirt. Could this be someone that's coming on and he hasn't got a shirt and that's why he's rushing round the corner? He's rushing to get Olivier Giroud's shirt. I was wondering why Olivier Giroud was shirtless. You'd think they'd be prepared. If they knew he was coming on, you'd think they would have him a shirt ready for him to come on with. So Olivier Giroud is coming on here for LA. And he's going to replace the centre-forward Jeremy Ebobisse. So Ebobisse off and Giroud on. So the former Chelsea man is facing his former club in LA colours tonight. And who knows, could Olivier Giroud find something against his former club to give his current club a chance at fighting back in this game in the second half? Colwell sprays it out wide to Caicedo. Cucurella now, very central Marc Cucurella. Palmer looking to get off quickly, Chelsea. Neto down the right side. Cuts it back to Palmer. Across to Caicedo, trying to roll it through, but Palmer was not getting anywhere near that one. Welcome in everybody joining us on TikTok. Do hit the like. We are... Of course, we were live, but then we had to go off live because of my phone was dying. But we're back. We're fine. Great to have you with us. And as well, everybody on YouTube. We are live on YouTube as well this evening for the live watch-along. Chelsea against LAFC. 1-0 to Chelsea. Pedro Neto's goal in the first half has the London Blues leading. As we just started the second half. 46 minutes gone so far in the game. They did make another change, by the way. I spotted that. Enzo Fernandez is on for Chelsea. So it only came up on the screen that Malo Gusto came on for Reece James, but Enzo Fernandez also came on for Romeo Lavia. So a double change for Chelsea at half-time, that is. I knew I spotted the number 8 on the back of a Chelsea player. I was like, Surely nobody's impersonating Enzo Fernandez. And waffling again. Malo Gusto. Neto. Caicedo gives it back to Gusto. Chelsea look to do what they did in the first half, have a lot more of the possession, and look to try and use that to their advantage against this LA team. But they looked pretty solid and looked pretty compact out of possession, did Los Angeles, for a lot of that first half. They didn't look too bothered on many a moment. Caicedo's come central. He's playing that inverted role for Chelsea. Palmer dispossessed. Jesus. Tillman played it on out wide to Martinez, but worked back by Los Angeles. Palencia has long tried to swing it out to the right hand side. It's brought down well there by Tillman, but he just couldn't play it off to Olivier Giroud. And Chelsea retrieve it here. Tosin to Cucurella down the left channel, but overhit towards Madueke. Unlike Chelsea, Los Angeles want to break away here down the right side. Nicely worked back inside by Martinez to Igor Jesus. Now Tillman. Martinez. Palencia. Thanks everybody joining us on TikTok. Do hit the like button, the follow button, of course, as always. Enzo Fernandez tried to retrieve it there for Chelsea. It's one back by Cucurella. Now Fernandez looking for the run of Madueke over the top. Takes it down, he drags in the defender in long. Spins the defender, does Madueke. Nice combination with Jackson, but well won back by Adam Long, the LA defender and the captain for Los Angeles. Given away cheaply though in the midfield. And Chelsea back on the ball once more. Nice work there by Neto, bursting away from his fullback again. Neto cuts it back. Jackson tried to get to it. And it was a last touch off the Chelsea centre forward, but it was well off target as he tried to get control of the ball. It was bursting pace by Neto down that right hand side. He left Hollingshead for dead, basically. He was nowhere near it. No question that Pedro Neto's been Chelsea's best attacker. He's been their most potent threat so far, first and second half so far. That's the number 7. He's already found a way past the former Spurs goalkeeper Hugo Lloris. Or to say it in French, Hugo Lloris. Lloris? Doesn't really matter. Probably upgraded on Hugo Lloris, if you're being honest, Spurs. Ooh, giving away Chelsea here in the midfield. Martinez, he's got the overlapping runner. He wants to go himself. He got the deflection that took it wide. And I think it was there was an offside anyway, but goodness. I don't know if there wasn't a deflection there off his own teammate. I think that could have caused Robert Sanchez a couple of problems. That could have been a problem for the Chelsea goalkeeper. And the youngster has probably had LA's best chance of the game. Here they come again. Martinez down that right hand side. He's got space past Cucurella. He's dragged it past him. Martinez tried the right footed effort and went right round the back of the goal there. He was that far wide. Swung it round the back of the netting. The 19-year-old is looking a bright spark here for LA down this right hand side. Came on in the first half, replaced Nathan Ordaz, who had to come off with a concussion. And he had that effort there that was well off target. No real threat, if you're honest. Thanks everybody on TikTok for getting involved. Do hit the like if you can. That will be greatly appreciated. And do follow if you're interested. We'll do some more watch-alongs across the tournament of the Club World Cup here on TikTok. We're doing it, of course, on YouTube as well. If you want to join us on YouTube. Delgado beating on it there down the right side. Pedro Neto's ball was cleared away. Cucurella keeps it alive. Gets it back towards Manuecu. Tries the cross. Blocked. And headed away again by the LA defence. Nicely retrieved by Colwell. Just about keeps it in the boundaries. And then hits it off Palencia. And wins a Chelsea corner. It was good work from Levi Colwell there. Stepping in. Commanding the space. And keeping Chelsea in the ascendancy. So Chelsea corner. Our third corner of the match. Right on this left hand side will be Pedro Neto that will take. Gone short to Madueke, now Palmer. Inside it goes to Fernandez. Out wide it goes back to Neto again. Right footed delivery, back post. The header is off the line. I don't know if Hugo Lloris did it, but someone did it, and it's cleared behind for another corner. How that didn't find a way past, I am not too sure whatsoever. How that ended up not going in the net. Neto's cross, the header from Jackson, and then it's cleared off the line by the defender. I don't know if the goalkeeper gets it. No, he doesn't. It's Tillman that heads it across goal and behind for the corner. Hugo Lloris was a sitting duck in that situation. Here's Palmer from the short corner again for Chelsea. Rolls it out wide to Neto, just about keeping it in play. Fernandez. Caicedo. Palmer's ball in. It's just a little overhit. And that comes to nothing. If you're joining us on TikTok and haven't liked so far, it would be greatly appreciated if you could like the live. It does help us massively. If you haven't liked on YouTube as well, that would be greatly appreciated if you could hit the like button. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining and watching and enjoying the football with us tonight. And LA tried to break away again. That through ball just comes all the way back. Thank you, Oshin, for all the likes on TikTok. Thank you very much. Oshin loves Arsenal. Thank you very much. Here's Enzo Fernandez trying the through ball for Jackson, but well blocked off by Long. Tillman. Back towards Adam Long again. Or Aaron Long, sorry. I've been calling him Adam. Aaron Long. Still getting used to the new players, the new names. New faces of this competition. Nicely worked by Tillman there. Did well. Gets it out to Bouanga. Quiet in the second half so far. On that left-hand side, Dennis Bouanga. And he was dispossessed well there by Gusto. And now Chelsea want to break away down the right. Here's Neto. Through it goes to Jackson, but overhit by Neto completely. And ends up in the hands of Giroud. Here comes Giroud in behind here for LA. Nice control, and his shot is well saved by Robert Sanchez from Bouanga. Goodness me. Bouanga got completely the better of his defender there. I mean, it was Pedro Neto defending for Chelsea. I'm baffled as to how that happened. But Bouanga got the better of him, shoved him away, and then had the effort. But it was well saved by Robert Sanchez down with his feet. I told you there's a threat in this Los Angeles team. I told you. It's not a walk in the park for Chelsea. They need that second goal. Cucurella out on the right hand side comes Neto now in a more familiar position of an attacking space. Palmer out wide now, dribbling towards the box. Palmer's across. But the body's in the box there for LA again. Doing the most and defending that situation. As Bouanga did well again. Kind of swinging out wide to Martinez as that was dealt with by Levi Colwell. And Martinez will get the better of Colwell on the second ball. And switches it into midfield for Igor Jesus. Tillman has to turn back. Safwan says, let's go Chelsea in the YouTube chat. Thank you very much for joining us again. Oh, there's a Chelsea player has gone down here. It's Marc Cucurella. He's hit the deck, whatever's happened, and the referee's going to give a yellow card out to David Martinez. Whether he had contact with Cucurella, I'm not too sure. We didn't get the clean camera angle. We'll have to see it again. Did he have contact? I mean, I don't actually know what happened there. It's kind of collided, but we need a better camera angle than that. From outer space. The space station would have had a better view of that than we did there with that camera angle. He's given a yellow card out, the referee, to the 19-year-old David Martinez, who the referee feels did unnecessarily make contact with Marc Cucurella. And he's just given him a yellow, but of course remember, any sort of a kind of action like that, hands to face kind of contact, can be deemed kind of serious foul play and can be given as a red, but just a yellow for the 19-year-old. I don't think it was a red. I don't even know what happened. Another throw in here. Well, again, with 30 minutes to go, Chelsea do lead by a goal to nil. They do have the advantage, of course, but at this moment, I don't even know what that comment is on TikTok. That slick is slick. Interesting. But LA are still very much in this game. And they had a very good chance with Bouanga about 2 minutes ago, and it's a very good goal scoring opportunity. So they're still very much within a chance of getting an equaliser here and maybe putting it to Chelsea a little bit. And that's why I think Chelsea just need to find that second goal and just deflate what has been a positive second half so far for Los Angeles. I said before, he's their highest scorer. He's their leading scorer this season, Denis Bouanga, for Los Angeles, the 30-year-old from Gabon. Joined LA in the summer of 2022 for 3.9 million from Saint Etienne. So has European experience, has played in France for a lot of his career. Here's Cole Palmer in the box. He's hit it well off target, but was there deflection? I think there might have been. It is still 1-0, remember, to Chelsea, but it's Palmer down that right-hand side. I said it in the first half. Palmer more central, he struggled. But coming out on that right-hand side, he's more in space a lot more, and that's when he thrives, Palmer, when he's got space to run into. And he has won Chelsea a corner here on this right-hand side, but coming out to that right-hand flank, he certainly offered more of a threat, Cole Palmer, than he did in the first half, when he was just isolated and kind of surrounded in that central 10 role. And there was just no space at all. Fernandez, right-footed delivery, flicked on at the front post Folds nicely here for Gusto if he can have an effort. He whips it back across, and the header is looping, but caught easily by the LA goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. Safwan says Palmer will score. Well, we'll see what Cole Palmer can do. There was certainly a stat that I read up on him. Yeah. Since making his debut for Chelsea, Cole Palmer, in September 2023, only Mohamed Salah has more goal involvements in the Premier League than him. He has 72 goal involvements Mohamed Salah has since then. 56 for Cole Palmer. 37 goals, 19 assists. Absolutely sensational. In the last year and a half from Cole Palmer. So he's been a massive revelation, no doubt about it. He's thrived at Chelsea. Thrived beyond belief. Neto plays it on to Palmer here. He's got the space. He tries to work it around his defender, but that time Hollingshead was back and was in control of the situation, and LA could clear their lines. And it looks like they're going to make some changes again, Chelsea. And it looks like one of their new signings is going to be joining us. Liam Delap is getting ready, and he's going to be coming on, along with Tyreek George for Chelsea. So Tyreek George and Liam Delap are going to be coming on to replace Nicholas Jackson and Noni Madueke. So 2 attacking changes for the Blues. Jackson and Madueke off. Delap and George on. We'll see what Liam Delap can offer to Chelsea. Of course, joined from Ipswich Town, the 22-year-old, for just over £30 million this summer. Joined just 12 days ago from Ipswich Town, did Liam Delap, and he's going to get his first involvement for Chelsea, to the applause of those Chelsea fans inside the Mercedes Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, Georgia. And with 26 or 27 minutes remaining of this game, Chelsea leading by a goal to nil. Pedro Neto's first half finish separates the sides. Delap beaten off the ball first time around there, but Cucurella is there to help him to win it back. And Cucurella was pulled. Was there actually a foul on an LA player? What's going on here? The referee's pointing in 3 different directions. Don't know about this referee. It's a little bit awkward. It is an LA free kick, but he pointed the way of a Chelsea free kick, and then pointed back, and then pointed back again. And then kind of signalled to the LA player that he pushed someone. I mean, I don't know what that was all about from the referee. Here is LA on the brick here. Martinez down the right side. Palencia helping him out. Back to David Martinez. Working it through the lines. Here's Bouanga on the left-hand side. He's got Giroud in the middle. Bouanga, well, charged out in there by Malo Gusto, and Neto wants to burst away again, but has to recycle it back to his fullback to just keep Chelsea in possession. But again, a little bit of an option there for Dennis Bouanga. Ooh, heavy touch from Tyreek George, sliding in, and the ball in by Martinez, flicked up into the air and cleared away by Caicedo. Chelsea under a little bit of pressure at the moment. Chipped over the top by Tillman. Didn't quite get the height behind it there, Timothy Tillman. And the Chelsea defence could easily recover that. But for a second or two there, LA were in a good spot. But Palmer trying to lead the charge for Chelsea on the breakaway here. Plays it across to Enzo Fernandez. He can hit one. Decides to lay it off to Tyreek George. Back to Enzo Fernandez, who will try an effort, but again blocked on the edge of the box. The bouncing ball might be promising for LA here. Nicely brought down by Bouanga. And then as LA try to break away, there's going to be a foul given against Los Angeles for a foul on a Chelsea player. Well, in the second half, there's been 3 shots apiece between the two sides, and LA have the only registered big chance of the second half. So Los Angeles, despite being 1-0 down, they are still in this fight, and even more in the fight in the second half than they were in the first. So they are still very much within the realms. Oh, and they've stolen away here from Chelsea. Oh, the through ball just couldn't quite reach. But Wonga tried it through to Giroud, and it was blocked off by Tosin. They're looking threatening, I'm telling you now. But Wonga is leading the charge here for Los Angeles. He has been their most threatening, their best player so far, and he is trying his ever hardest to give them something. Safwan says, who do you think will win the Club World Cup? You don't need to spam it. If you send it in once, I can respond to you. If you keep spamming it, come on, there's no need to spam. Come on. But Wonga in the box again, can't find it. Again, who do I think will win the Club World Cup? Again, as I think I said it yesterday in the Bayern game, I think a European side will fancy their chances, but you never know. You never know. There can be someone that can be a dark horse and pop up from nowhere, but you probably have to say a PSG or even Bayern Munich. Who knows? No worries, it's not an issue. It's just I don't like the spam, and just kind of if someone else comments, then it kind of gets lost in the spam. But here comes Chelsea trying to find a second. The cutback, Fernandes was blocked fantastically. Body on the line by the LA defender. Yeah, it was Liam Delap making the run in behind. Nicely weighted ball by Cole Palmer. Lovely ball. Good kind of running behind by Delap. And as he cut it back, he got past his man. Cut it back on the edge of the 6-yard box to Enzo Fernandez. And the body on the line clearance by the LA defender puts it behind for the corner. Chelsea ever so close to a second. A very good clearance from the LA defence for the corner. Fernandes takes short. Finds its way to Caicedo. Palmer. 21 minutes to go. Chelsea 1, LA 0. Oh, lovely ball through. Here's Cole Palmer, who's absolutely skied it into the Chelsea fans behind that goal. Absolutely snatched at it. What a move. What a ball. What a moment. What a chance. Lovely reverse ball by Neto, and Palmer has the goal in front of him, has the whole opposite side, and he absolutely rockets it well over the bar. Big missed chance from Cole Palmer. Big missed chance. Giroud with the long kick. Bouncing ball was dealt with by Cucurella eventually. And then Aaron Long had to stretch past Delap to put it out for the Chelsea throw. Well, what's next for Chelsea? Well, after this game, they'll play Flamengo at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. And then on the third game of the group, they will face Esperance de Tunis, the Tunisian side. And that is also at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. So that's where Chelsea are going next. For Los Angeles, they will, of course, face Esperance next there in Geddes Park in Nashville. For their next game, Los Angeles against Esperance. That's on the 20th, so that is... See, working out these timings can be a little bit difficult. Esperance 20th, so today's the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. Friday, the 20th, they play Esperance on match day 2, and then they face Flamengo on match day 3 on the 24th, which is next Tuesday, and that's at the Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. Here's an offer! Oh! An effort from the good distance there from LA, and it just went over. Good run off the inside there, and the space opened up. I'm trying to see who it is, but the effort with the right foot had Robert Sanchez grasping for it. It's the number 24. It's Hollingshead, Ryan Hollingshead, the left back, and he had a good effort at it, and it goes just over the bar. The American there almost getting the Americans back on terms. Chelsea are playing with fire here. I'm telling you, the longer this is 1-0, LA will grow in even more confidence that they can scrape an equaliser. But here come Chelsea. Tyreek George trying to find that crucial goal that could give Chelsea a little bit of breathing room, but he's dispossessed. Tillman held up well there on that right hand side by Los Angeles as Cucurella comes sliding in and convincingly wins the ball. Palmer end to end a little bit this game now. Palmer on this right hand side, he's got the lap amongst them in the box, but they're going to stop the game for the moment here because Caicedo's gone down. He was kind of in a little collision. Welcome in, boss. Great to have you with us again in the YouTube chat. Great to have everybody joining us on the TikTok chat. Whoever's joining us, great to have you with us. Mike, Chris, Kobe, all joining us. Great to have you all with us. And Whiskery Snail, very interesting name. Icing as well. Caicedo is just back up to his feet. So we see this again. It was when they tried to break away with Igor Jesus, or not Igor Jesus. David Martinez did LA, and it was Caicedo that was battling them, and then Cucurella came in to win the ball. There was just a little bit of a collision which caught Moises Caicedo. Samuel says Chelsea dominating possession. Yes, Chelsea have had the vast majority of the ball, 67% of the ball, but at the moment LA are in the ascendancy. I'd have to say it. At the minute, LA just looked the team that have a threat. They've had a threat the whole way through, but this threat is actually getting some tangibles now. They're actually having efforts. They're testing Chelsea. At the moment, Chelsea are just, I said it, they find a second goal. This game is Chelsea's and no one else's. It's Chelsea's to win and to get the 3 points out of. But 1-0, anything is still possible. Lay off there from David Martinez, who you could hear the audible scream as he was taken out there. And that's going to be a yellow card. And that's going to be a yellow card for Marc Cucurella. It's another keen battle. Both players, David Martinez and Marc Cucurella, on that right hand side now, both on a yellow for separate incidents. A free kick here for Los Angeles. A reminder for you, more Club World Cup coverage for you tomorrow. We're live from 5 o'clock. Fluminense against Borussia Dortmund. That's tomorrow from the Hard Rock Stadium. Or not the Hard Rock Stadium, the MetLife Stadium. Here comes Liam Delap in the box. And he was well marshalled out off the ball there. And then bringing down the LA player there, Timothy Tillman. Free kick to Los Angeles. But Delap again looking a threat. Looking a problem himself. It was a very good recovery. Tillman came around the blind side of Liam Delap, who was focused on the centre back in front of him, and Tillman came around his blind side and nipped the ball away. That's a hold by Caicedo on David Martinez. That's going to be another free kick to Los Angeles, further up the fields. Trying to win the set pieces now, LA. Set pieces was their key area of threat in the first half. Good press there from Olivier Giroud, forcing Tosin to put it out for the throw. A little bit cheaply. This would be a massive moment if LA could find an equaliser. It would be huge. It would be awful for Chelsea. It would be huge in terms of the grand scheme of things. Be a massive result for them if they could get it. They need to try and find a way to get towards the goalkeeper and have a very good effort, like the one Dennis Bawonga had earlier in the game. Something of that ilk can be of great importance. What a lovely through ball by Tillman, and it's breaking down the right-hand side here. Gets past his man, chips it back across the box. Giroud was diving, but the header was beaten. He was beaten to it. And they've kept it alive, and it's fed back into the box. Here's a chance. It's a cross. It's blocked. It's followed up by David Martinez. It's blocked again, and the shot is bundled wide. But there was an offside up anyway against Bawonga. My goodness, take a breath and settle. 2 or 3 really good opportunities in the one phase of play for Los Angeles. And in the end, it was Dennis Bawonga that was the last one to have contact. Was he offside initially? I'm not too sure. I don't really know. I think the officials, that was what was given, but wow. I said it. They're in this game, and they're trying their utmost hardest, Los Angeles, to fight back against Chelsea here. Still only 1-0. Pedro Neto's goal the difference at the moment. But LA are winning the physical battle as well. On that occasion, just as I say that, Hollingshead gives away a cheap foul. Always the way. When you make a point and say something, the opposite happens right as you say it. A reminder for you, that Group F game between Fluminense and Borussia Dortmund tomorrow at 5 o'clock UK time. And that is the first game of Group F. Also, Ulsan, the South Korean side, and the Mamelodi Sundowns, the South African side, are also in that group for Group F. A very good challenge on by Palencia. And a lovely ball over the top by David Martinez, but curling away from the run of Bawonga. Allowed to be recovered by Robert Sanchez, but there is threat in that forward line of Los Angeles. If they can get it forward to them towards the end of this game, they can be a threat, although Chelsea on the break themselves. Delap with the ball in, and there's a chance, and there's a goal. And it's Enzo Fernandez. And that should really end the game now. Any sort of doubts in the Chelsea mind that they could be coming under a real barrage in the final 10 minutes. They find that ever-coveted second goal that they've been desperate to find, and that will surely settle the game down now for Chelsea. A much-needed second. It was good work from Liam Delap, came wide, worked the ball back into the box with a cross, and Enzo Fernandez took it down, took the control, and then had the effort with his left foot into the corner of the net. No chance for Hugo Lloris, and that's a second Chelsea goal that they have been ever so wanting and ever so desperate to get for a lot of this second half. Chelsea 2, Los Angeles 0. And that's now on perfect timing for Chelsea. As I said, they've been coming under a little bit of a threat by LA over the last 5-10 minutes, and that second goal will just settle their nerves, settle any lingering doubts that Chelsea might be under a little bit of a last gasp threat, as Igor Jesus is being replaced here for Los Angeles. Welcome in, Kevin. Thank you very much for joining us on TikTok. Oh, here's a chance for Bawonga. Can he get one back here? Dennis Bawonga! Off balance, and he had the shot well saved by Robert Sanchez. Chelsea, I don't know how that situation came about, but they were under threat there again. They are lucky now they've got this second goal. But LA haven't given up hope of trying to get a goal out of this. Set up a grandstand finish. I mean, that's a little bit optimistic, if anything. The second goal just slightly deads the game a little bit, but Chelsea will maybe try and, try and find something else. Maybe a third goal. Maybe unleash themselves a little bit more, Chelsea. See this again. This is fabulous. Lovely ball by David Martinez, who dropped off and round the back of Malo Gusto, who tried to commit. He's running into no man's land, and Bawonga gets in behind him, and off balance, he still gets the shot off. Dennis Bawonga. I gotta say, despite the fact that LA are losing this 2-0, Dennis Bawonga has been absolutely perfect on that left-hand side for LA. He has been their biggest threat tonight, and their best kind of opportunity, their best opportunities to try and score tonight, Los Angeles, have come through him. He's been imperious for them. They just haven't been able to convert it, but his performance does deserve a mention massively. Ball switched out to the left-hand side, but that's too much to chase on that occasion. And for the substitute there, Frankie Amaya, who did come on for Igor Jesus. And Chelsea going to make their final 2 substitutions. Christopher Nkunku is one of them, and Dario Esugo is the other. And Moises Caicedo and Cole Palmer are going to be coming off. So Palmer and Caicedo off, and Nkunku and Esugo on for Chelsea. Of course, both teams were allowed 6 substitutes because of the concussion sub used by Los Angeles in the first half. Therefore, it gave Chelsea a 6th substitute. Both sides have to have 6 subs in that scenario. Therefore, Chelsea have used all of their 6 substitutes now in this one. Yeah, and Los Angeles still have 2 subs left to use if they wish to use them. Six minutes of normal time to go. Chelsea 2, Los Angeles 0. Before we leave you, we'll have a quick check up on all of the scores so far that's happened across the tournament so far over the last 2 days, and we'll have a look at the table. Of course, Chelsea will be top of the Group D table as it stands, because this is the only game that is and has taken place in Group D. So far, the other Group D game between Flamengo and Esperance de Tunis is early hours of the morning, 2 o'clock UK time in the morning, and that is being played at the Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. That's at 2 o'clock in the morning. And of course, we'll have a full roundup of everything that'll have happened overnight on tomorrow's live. Here is David Martinez, who swings it across too far for Bawonga. He will keep it in play though. Dennis Bawonga, 5 to go, gets his way past Tosin. Tosin did enough in the end, actually, just to block Dennis Bawonga for having any clean effort towards goal, and it goes for a goal kick. Yeah, but that man Dennis Bawonga, if LA are going to get something out of this group, he is going to be key to everything positive that Los Angeles will do. And if I had to take an educated guess as to the 2 teams I would expect to head through in this group, you would say it would be Chelsea and Flamengo. But you never know. You never know. Anything's possible. And we'll see what way the game between Flamengo and Esperance turns out tonight, but also the upcoming games in the group. Here come Chelsea on the breakaway now. Here's Tyreek George. He's got options. He's laid it off to Neto. Neto with a whip ball in. Over the head of his man in there. And headed behind by Aaron Long for a corner. And they are going to make that final substitutions, Los Angeles, so using all of their 6 subs. I make them in the moment. Actually, they've only made 3 subs. Yeah, they've 3 left, sorry. Yeah, they've only made 3. And they're going to make another 2. So this will be the end of their substitutes tonight for Los Angeles. Marlon is coming on. And I haven't got the others at the moment. Neto to whip the ball in, but too close to Hugo Lloris to cause any sort of threat at all. Yeboah as well as the other player to come on, Yeboah, along with Marlon. They're the 2 substitutes for Los Angeles. Pressure there from Chelsea in the box, and easily caught by Hugo Lloris at the flick ball. And now LA want to get moving. And they want to try and maybe get a consolation, and maybe if they get a goal here, could set up a late charge for an equaliser, but that's maybe getting ahead of ourselves. Palencia. Martinez. Let's turn it back around the corner to Aaron Long. It was Timothy Tillman and Marky Delgado that were replaced by Marlon and Yeboah for LA. The ball works its way back to Robert Sanchez, who goes long. But I gotta say, you know, we come into this game tonight, and before the game I thought, one, I hope this isn't as one-sided as Bayern Munich's game, because it got a little bit ridiculous towards the end. I mean, well, I mean, nothing to take away from Bayern. They were excellent, and Auckland just weren't at their level. It was always going to end up that way. But I didn't want anything like that happening between these two tonight, where it was just going to be a complete romp for Chelsea, and they're just going to fly to victory. I wanted a bit of jeopardy, and we got that. You know, of course we knew Chelsea were going to be the favourites. Of course we knew Chelsea were going to have the better of the chances, and the opportunities would go their way. But I just, for me, I enjoyed to see LA being a little bit combative and a little bit kind of like, yeah, we're not going to lie down and just let you have it just because you're Chelsea, you're better than us. We're going to fight for it. We're going to make you fight for it. And that's exactly what Chelsea had to do. It wasn't easy walk in the park for them. You know, they were 1-0 up, probably into the 78th minute. So LA were still very much in the mix of trying to get an equaliser right up until the final 10 minutes of the game. So the game was far from done. And it just created that extra little bit of jeopardy that just kept us intrigued and interested and kept us very much entertained. And then that second goal did come from Enzo Fernandez. But to be fair, again to Los Angeles, they haven't given up. They've still tried to get forward and tried to have chances. Here's Bouanga. It's Giroud. Cuts it back. Marlon will have an effort, but the effort will bubble its way right towards Robert Sanchez. That's what I mean. They haven't just gone, yeah, we're 2-0 down now. We're not going to win this game. We're not going to get anything out of this game. Let's just rest. They've still kept at it, and credit to them. Los Angeles, but I'm sure if you'd have said to them at before the game, you're going to be competitive against Chelsea, you're going to keep them to 1-0 until the final 10 minutes, and you're going to be competitive right the way throughout the game and lose the game in the end just 2-0, I think they would take that. Of course, you don't want to take a defeat, but you would say, you know, the imbalance in terms of the individual quality, considering Chelsea put a very strong side out, they didn't romp past LA, and they had to work for it, which is exactly what we want of this competition. We don't want the European teams just to have a whitewash. We want some competition. We want some teams to fight back and find a way past them, albeit in the end, it will seem like LA won't be able to find a way past Chelsea. We will have 3 additional minutes. We've already played a minute and a half of those 3. So we are edging to the end of this game. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That would be fabulously appreciated. If you could do that for us, that would be great. On YouTube, as there's a foul on a Chelsea player and a yellow card going the way of Palencia, the fullback. And we will, as I said, have a look at the table. We'll look at the scores from the other games from the last yesterday and today. And Chelsea with this free kick, which will surely be the last action of the game. Well, actually, they've gone backwards with it. Now they've fed it forward to Neto. And Kunku tried to dribble his way through, but well challenged. Can LA have one last chance, maybe? Bawonga down the left-hand side. Up against Malo Gusto. Bawonga bursting past his man, breaking into the box, losing his balance, not able to stay on his feet. It certainly wasn't a foul in any stretch, as Bawonga just couldn't keep his balance. And now Liam Delap shakes off a defender, and Chelsea might have one last chance at a breakaway here. 5-on-4. It's Neto! It's off the crossbar, I believe. Has it gone off a deflection? Who knows? It doesn't matter, because there's the final whistle. And Chelsea have got 3 points. They had to work for it. It wasn't quite the dominance that Bayern Munich displayed against their opponents yesterday. They had to work for it, Chelsea, and credit to Los Angeles for that today. You've got to give them that credit. But it was Pedro Neto that opened the scoring, that gave Chelsea the lead before half-time. And it was Enzo Fernandez, 10 minutes from the final whistle, that eased slight Chelsea nerves when he added a second. Because Los Angeles at 1-0, and the last 15 minutes of that game were threatening a chance at an equaliser. But Enzo Fernandez's goal settled those nerves, and Chelsea were able to overcome the American side and claim their 3 points in their first game of the Club World Cup group stages. The final score from our game here in the Mercedes Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. It is finished Chelsea 2, Los Angeles 0. Alright, that is how it ends. That's all of our results from yesterday and today. 4 games yesterday. And not a single team that were designated as the away side got on the score sheet in yesterday's games. Al Ahly against Inter Miami was the opening night game. Finished 0-0 after 90 minutes in that one. A fabulous opening game. Bayern Munich won 10-0 against New Zealand side Auckland City, the semi-pro side. Yesterday we watched that one. 10-0 it was. PSG put 4 past Atletico Madrid. 2 of those 4 goals came when Atletico were down to 10 and inside the last few minutes. But 4-0 still a thumping result for PSG in that first group game against fellow European side. Palmeiras and Porto drew 0-0. That's a good result for Palmeiras against the European side Porto, but a good battle there in that group. That was yesterday's action. Early hours of this morning in the UK, Botafogo got a 2-1 win over Seattle Sounders. In their game, they were 2-0 up, Botafogo. Seattle Sounders tried to make it a competition towards the end, but just the 1 goal for them. They couldn't get back into the game quick enough. So it finished 2-1 there. And in our game this evening, Chelsea has finished 2-0 winners against Los Angeles FC. Also this evening, Boca Juniors are taking on Benfica. That kicks off in about an hour's time. Then the early coverage, the early morning game in 2 a.m. UK time in the morning, Flamengo against Esperance, which is also a Group D game in Chelsea's group. Here are the table. That's Group C and D. We'll start with Group C and D. Why not? We'll have to refresh because that's not accurate. The game has finished. And we'll bring you up to Group A then. So Group A and Group B are like this after match day 1 completed in both groups. All 4 teams in Group A just a singular point after they all drew 0-0. From their respective first games. So all a point apiece there. Group B sees PSG top the table with their goal difference much better than Botafogo. Both sides have 3 points, so they're the top 2. Seattle Sounders in 3rd and Atletico Madrid in 4th. Down to Group C and Group D. There's the updated table then. Bayern Munich leading Group C, but of course Boca Juniors Benfica will be played later this evening, so they haven't played yet. But Auckland are bottom of the table and Bayern are top with 3 points. And Group D in a similar position to Group C. Only one game has been played, and that's Chelsea's 2-0 win over LAFC. Flamengo and Esperance still to play. And the other 4 groups are all still to be played. Their opening games are coming in the next few days. Group E's opening games are tomorrow. River Plate against Urawa Reds. The Argentinian side against the Japanese side. And then Monterrey against Inter Milan. That's also tomorrow evening. In Group F, we're going to have coverage of Fluminense against Borussia Dortmund tomorrow at 5 from Group F. And the other game in that one is Ulsan against Mamelodi Sundowns in Group F. Group G sees Manchester City take on Wydad AC, the Moroccan side. That's on Wednesday. Then Al Ain against Juventus also on Wednesday. That's Group G. And then Group H on match day 1 sees Real Madrid take on Al Hilal on Wednesday evening as well. And Pachuca takes on RB Salzburg also on Wednesday evening. And that will be match day 1 complete after Wednesday. And we will be back with coverage of a lot of those games over the next coming days. But for now, thank you very much for your company. A reminder for you that Fluminense against Borussia Dortmund is our game tomorrow at 5. And we'll be live for that one around about 10 minutes before kick-off. We'll round up the overnight results and we'll look ahead to what's coming tomorrow as well. Thanks for joining us for this one tonight. Chelsea off the mark, 3 points. They had to work for it, but in the end they did, and they got the 2-0 win over the American side. And I'm sure Enzo Maresca and his team are pretty happy. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.